Welcome back to EastValleyTribune.com Varsity Xtra 2013 football previews. The Desert Mountain Wolves are a very interesting team and looking to become an elite team this season. 9-3 last year, lost to Mountain Point. They got hammered by Mountain Point in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals. Not much shame in that. We know how good Mountain Point was and is. A lot of the key ingredients for Desert Mountain are back, obviously starting with quarterback Kyle Allen and Mark Andrews at wide receiver, two of the best players in the country. Yeah. My question is going to be, A, can they run the ball, which they had some moderate success with on and off last year, and defensively. Tony Tabor really likes this year's group of offensive linemen, and he also thinks this could be his best team, which it might almost need to be given some of the seniors that are on this that are on this roster. Can Desert Mountain make the leap to the next level? Can they get to the semifinals? Could they get to a championship game even in Division I?
It's a tough question. Right now I'm leaning towards no, which they probably don't want to hear. Like you said, Allen and Andrews are awesome, but you just saw in that Mountain Point game, I think they lost 45-14, and if you can, put a couple guys on Andrews and force all those other guys to beat you, but if you're looking at a team like Mountain Point or Hamilton, and a lot depends on the draw, because if they don't get those teams early, then they could make a run, but you're looking at the defense of those two teams, and it's tough to score on them, and I think semifinals is a possibility, but if they see either of those two teams early, I don't think they can win that game.
They've got Brophy to start with. It's a pretty good schedule for them. They got Brophy to start with, which will be very interesting actually for both sides, especially Brophy, but that's still a pretty darn good test for Desert Mountain. Chaparral's in there. They've got Horizon. They've got Red Mountain. Then they got a couple weeks that they should win. And then they get Desert Ridge in week 9, which I think is going to be a total interesting matchup because it's a total contrast of styles and ways that they play between the passing attack that Desert Mountain has and the rushing attack that Desert Ridge has. I see him as an 8-2 team. I think Desert Ridge is going to cause them problems, and I think Chaparral is going to cause them some problems. That's a total coin flip to me, but I do think this is an 8-2 team, and we'll see if Coach Tabor, who's been gushing about his offensive line and thinks his defense is going to be better than it was even a year ago. And Gary McKay transferring from Chaparral to Desert Mountain, we'll see how much that helps them in the backfield, in the defensive backfield. But I still wonder if they can run the ball consistently enough to chew up clock and, like you said, draw some defense a little bit away from the pressure that Kyle Allen and Mark Andrews are going to be under to move the ball and put up points.
Yeah, I think 8-2 is about right. Chaparral game, if they can win that game, then you're looking at starting 7-8-0 and then going into that big Desert Ridge game. So that's a really big one against Chaparral, a team that probably is deeper but doesn't have the same high-end talent because of Allen and Andrews. So if Kyle Allen can really just put up big games this year, there's no reason why they can't win 9 or 10 games in the regular season. But there are some liabilities with that team. They haven't been a perennial contender, so they don't have that depth as much as a Chaparral does, or I think even Desert Ridge, Hamilton, Mountain Point. They have just more players. They're deeper, while Desert Mountain has the top 2 guys. So it's an interesting thing to watch, and I'm saying 8-2, but they definitely have the ceiling for more.
Yeah, and with some of the enormous struggles that Desert Mountain has had over the years, especially the last 5 or 6 years, they had a semifinal run, and they had another decent season in this last year, and this year could be another good one. It's been a pretty good turnover for them from a real downtrodden program 5 years ago.